Welcome to F That, the podcast where I help you trash societal rules and norms and help you see a new way of viewing the world through the lens of radical self-love, ownership over your own power, and showing you how to create a fat stack of cash while doing it. If you've been following me for a while, you know I don't hold back on my opinions. But in this series, I'm taking you deeper, not just into what I think, but into the real impact of my work. You're going to hear firsthand how entrepreneurs and eldest daughters alike step into their power, own their expertise, and claim their spot as the only choice in their industry. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to F That, and welcome back to this special 5-part series of the F That podcast, the Change the Way You Show Up series. This isn't just a season break. These episodes are designed to shift how you think, how you lead, and how you show up in your business. If you've been moving quietly, shrinking behind your work, or waiting for permission to take up space, this series is your motherfucking wake-up call, okay? Across these 5 episodes, I'm taking you deeper into my world. You'll hear the mindset shifts, the strategies, and the really raw truths that have helped my clients and me step into being the only choice in our industries. The first episode in this series was an interview with a former client of mine, Jen, and she was basically like, get your butt in here. If you're thinking about working with Alexis, do it. And that was an excellent way to do that. Okay. I loved it. It was such a great episode. If you haven't listened to it, go back and check it out now because you are missing out. Okay. But today I want to talk about eldest daughter entrepreneurs and why we shrink and why we need to start leading. Okay. Eldest daughters have a huge struggle to claim power in entrepreneurship. And we have a lot of patterns that most of us don't even realize are holding us back. Okay. And so the goal of this episode is by the end, I want you to know exactly how to shift into ownership and get paid like the one in your industry. Okay. So really quickly, we're going to talk about why you've been powerful your whole life, why you struggle to own your power, how that lack of ownership shows up in your business. And then I'm going to give you some practical steps to change that. Okay. As an eldest daughter, you have been powerful as fuck your whole life, but you have given that power away for free. Okay. And you've given that power away by giving it to your family, giving it to your friends. And then you think because it's something that you're used to doing, that it's expected of you, that it's not worthy of payment, that it is not worthy of respect, that it's just, well, this is how it's supposed to be. And just because it's something that you've always known doesn't mean that it's right. And that doesn't mean that how it should continue. Okay. So we're talking about why you struggle to own your power in your business, how it shows up, and what that shift feels like to take full ownership. And you've always taken ownership over your family, friends, responsibilities without being paid for it. So charging for your power feels really unnatural for you. Charging to give people advice, to do work for people, that doesn't feel good for you. You're like, wait, should I be doing that? And ask me how I know. Because literally every client that I've had has gone through this. I've gone through this where it's like, damn, I give really good advice, but I could be charging people for this. Damn, I do really good work. I could be making more money for this. And you've also, as eldest daughters, we've been conditioned to be humble, to be smaller so that other people can take up space, to stay out of the spotlight. We've been taught that the spotlight was for other people. The spotlight was for people for our other siblings, for everybody who went beyond us, for the boys, for the men's. I don't know about you, I'm tired of the men's having the spotlight because, honey, what they do with the spotlight is tragic. It's tragic. Okay? So this conditioning that you have to be humble, it's what's actually keeping you small in business because you refuse to brag about yourself. You refuse to talk about how great you are. You refuse to show people how good it can be for them to be in your work. You don't have a problem bragging about other people, but when it comes to yourself, I don't know how to do that, okay? You associate your work with love and passion, not obligation, making it really difficult for you to demand what you're worth, okay? Oh, but it's so easy for me. Oh, but I really love doing it. Okay, so that means you get to get paid hella cash for it. So many of the things that come so easily for me in my coaching, like the obvious answers that I give some of my clients, they're like, I never thought of it that way. But it's literally the first thing that came to my mind. And we think because it's easy for us that we're not worthy of payment for it, which is wild as fuck to me. We think that life has to be hard. We think that because our parents hustled and our parents struggled and they rubbed their struggle in our face, that that's exactly how it has to be for us. And if it's easy for us, then we're not worthy or deserving of the money that comes with it. We're not worthy and deserving of our ease. We are subconsciously addicted to our parents' struggle and make it our story and take it on as our own. And beloved, that is bullshit. Okay? I understand the point of what your parents were trying to do by telling you how hard they worked, but we don't live in the same day and age that they did, obviously. They didn't like therapy. We like therapy. Okay? They didn't like dealing with their inner demons. We like dealing with our inner demons. And you think, well, this is a passion project for me. It's not about the money. Whoa, that's one of the biggest fucking things. So we're going to talk about it. It's like when you're like, oh, it's not about the money for me, but it is, because at the end of the day, this is still the world and we still need money to pay our bills. Why shouldn't you get paid for the stuff that comes easily to you? Because I can't draw a stick figure to save my life, but there's somebody out there who can make the most beautiful canvas ever created and it was easy for them. Why shouldn't they get paid for it? Because I can't do it? I would pay them for it. Because I can't do it. That's the thing, is that what comes easy to you comes difficult to other people, and you deserve to be paid for it, especially if it comes easy for you. Because if it comes easy to you, that means what you're naturally good at. You didn't have to force it. You didn't have to try. It's literally the universe trying to hand you abundance by saying, here's this thing you're really good at, go monetize it. Okay? But you being all like, oh, it's a passion project and it's not about the money. You are cutting yourself off from abundance. And it's one of the many ways that you struggle to take ownership over the power of your work and to own your individual power in your business. Okay. And you also struggle to take ownership because it feels like you're weaponizing your gifts when in reality it's just claiming what's already yours. You feel like you're turning your gifts on people, but it's not. For me as a projector, when people come to me and ask me for my advice, I used to love that shit. I used to be like, oh, yes, they're asking me for my advice. And then people would never actually take it. They wanted my advice and then they wouldn't take it. Me charging for my advice isn't weaponizing it. It's protecting my energy because I'm a really powerful advice giver. It's why I'm the coach for eldest daughters. I know what it is I'm doing. To be in my space, to get my advice is a privilege the majority of the world will never have. To have my one-on-one attention is a luxury most people will never have. I charge like it because what I say is life-changing. When I speak, people move. I am here to shift the entire vibration of this planet, and I need to preserve my energy like that. If I gave my energy to every single Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry that asked for it, I wouldn't be able to do the work it is that I'm really here to do. You charging and taking ownership over the power of your gifts and your work is not weaponizing it. It is understanding how powerful you are and using that to get other people to see how powerful they are. That's it. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Like literally nothing. Okay? So how does your lack of ownership show up in your business? Let's talk about 3 unique ways that your lack of ownership shows up in your business. Number 1, the number 1 example, and it's why it's first, is you're undercharging. So recently I was looking back at this pricing guide that I created for absolutely no reason other than somebody told me I should. Like, oh, do you have like a pamphlet or a leaflet? You know, like where are all your prices written down? I should have been like on my website. But I made this entire pricing guide for somebody and it was all fluff. It was like 5 pages and only one of the pages had my one price to work with me on it. It was ridiculous. And at one point in my coaching career, I was charging $2,000, not a month, $2,000 period, for 3 months of high touch one-on-one coaching with me. You were getting 2 60-minute calls with me a month and WhatsApp support in between. And I was charging $2,000 total for that. Diabolical behavior. What in the low ass price is that? I have a client right now who pays me $2,000 a month I literally tripled my rates. Literally. And $2,000 for 3 months of life altering shifts, especially when you listen to my content and you watch my stories and you see how my clients are literally changing their lives in 2 weeks in my program. The transformation that I carry is diabolically wild. You come into my world, you come into my energy, you shift inside of my programs like that. And I wasn't charging accordingly. I wasn't. And it was horrible. And that is how lack of ownership shows up in business as an eldest daughter. You're like, oh, am I worth it? I don't know. You know, people said that I shouldn't charge this, that, and the third. First of all, you're probably getting advice from people who don't have businesses. Stop asking your family and friends for advice on shit they don't know anything about, please. Okay? I allowed people to project their money mindset issues onto me and dictate what my prices should be based on what they felt comfortable paying, not the value it was that I was actually getting. And when I had friends, you know, when I changed my friends out, and I asked a friend, I said, I gave her like 15 minutes of help. And I was like, how much would you have paid for that? She's like, I would have easily paid you $1,000 for that. And I was like, what? She was like, you don't understand how you change things for me every time we speak. And now this is why I have premium ticket one-on-one coaching. It's like, because I understood my worth and my value, but two, because that lack of ownership was also me not energetically backing myself. And when I wasn't energetically backing myself, I also wasn't energetically backing my pricing, which is why when my coaching was $2,000 for 3 months of my time, it's why I almost never sold it, because I hated the price and I couldn't get behind it. Owning the power of your work is one of the things that you have to do in order to be the only person people see in your industry. Eldest daughters are powerful humans. And when you are undercharging, you are undercutting your own power and is not taking ownership of the power of your work. I don't care what industry it is that you're in. You are powerful. Like, you are such a powerful freaking human being. Why are you not acting like it? Okay? Raise your prices. That's number one. All right. The second way that your lack of ownership is showing up in your business is you are being coy and bashful as hell online. You are promoting other people more than you promote yourself. You're hyping up other people's work while staying quiet about your own impact. You're always, oh, I'm going to this networking group and tagging all these people like, this person's the best, this person's the greatest, I love them so much. But when are you ever talking about yourself? When are you going to start talking about the power of your work? This is the same thing. This is ownership. And you're just like, oh, it's okay. You know, I do a really good job. How you plan on standing out with an attitude like that? That's not going to get you nowhere, babe. That's going to get you blending in like everybody else. Your little beige, aesthetically pleasing profile, that's not making you stand out. That's making you blend in. Your little aesthetically pleasing, beige, whitewashed color obsession is a direct result of you not understanding the power of your work. You are being so bashful, so coy, so meek, so, I don't know. Stop it. Stop it, beloved. Where are you? I can't see you in the sea of white and gray and the fields that you're running through and trying to look like everybody else. Stop. Say it with your chest. And we're going to talk about this in the next one. Promote yourself. Talk about you. Talk about who you are. Talk about how powerful your work is. Don't just go off like, well, come here and get this course. No, this course changes lives. This course came in and this one person shifted within 2 days of doing the modules. Only I can do this. Start bucking at people when you talk about yourself. Let them know. Okay? I be getting upset about this. Y'all really need to take ownership over the power of your work and say it proudly, boldly, because nobody else is going to talk about you the way that you talk about you. Now, for me, because I have been so vocal about the power of my work, people do talk about me the way that I talk about me. Okay? They do. But that's only because I started talking about me first. Nobody is going to hype you up first before you do. People need to see you loving on yourself. People need to see you owning your power so that they can believe it too, so that they can believe it about you and so that they can believe it about themselves. That is how you change the collective. Focus on yourself. People are going to be like, what's she sipping? I want some of that in my cup. And then that's it. Watch. And you watch how you pour into everybody else's cup because you filled yours first, and then they pour into everybody else's cup. Stop trying to pump other people up first. It's okay to have collaborative spaces. It's okay to say this person is the best at what they do. I have 4 co-coaches inside of my mastermind. I hype every single one of them up. But guess what? I hype me up first. I hype me up first. I talk about me loudly first because I know what I'm about, okay? I know what I'm about. Stop being coy on the internet. Stop being bashful about the transformative power of your work. Own it right now. Okay, started preaching. I mean preaching. All right, lastly, how lack of ownership shows up in your business. Number 3, you avoid having strong or controversial opinions. And now you know I'm about to go off about this because literally 75% of my marketing strategy is talking shit online. I love threads right now. All I do is run my mouth all the motherfucking day long, okay? Anytime I see something like, that's stupid, and I say it on threads, I talk so much shit. Normally, on a regular basis now, I have a thread go viral between once or twice a month. Once or twice a month, I say something extremely controversial. And for the most part, people actually agree with me. People are literally waiting for you to say the controversial thing and you're not saying it. People are waiting for permission to be that person. They're waiting to see that somebody else is doing it first. And you want to lead people, but you're not leading yourself first. You are tired of the dusty, vanilla-ass thought leaders that are out here that are not saying anything profound. They are not saying anything energizing. And you're like, why does everybody follow them? Because you aren't standing up and saying what you need to be saying. You are not speaking with any kind of authority. You are hesitant to call out the bullshit that you see in your industry. I call this shit out all the time. I say all the time, stop doing that. Don't do that. That's dumb. And you can check my feeds. You can check all of my threads. I can't even think of all the ways on this podcast right now that I have called out every single thing in coaching industry that I hate, every single thing in the online industry that I hate, every single thing in the world that I don't want to see anymore. Because if not me, then who? I don't want to look like every other thought leader out there. First of all, I already don't look like every other thought leader out there, okay? Why do I want to sound like them either? I don't, okay? You're so afraid to say, this is dumb, that's wrong. I actually have a real solution. That person over there that's selling you that shit sandwich, it's trash. Here's actually what you need to be buying. Just today, I was like, what even is digital marketing? There's this whole niche on digital marketing. I don't even know what y'all sell. And there's all this fluff and cloak and dagger about it. It's all this, oh, you can't see me. What even is digital marketing? That's stupid. Okay? Say what needs to be said. Talk your shit and understand that when you say it, you will become highly paid for it. I don't worry, oh, is this going to ostracize my audience? I don't care because those people were never going to work with me in the first place. Why do I care about alienating them? Because you know what it's going to do? It's actually going to call in people that are really meant to work with you. The last post that I had that went viral at the time that I'm recording this podcast got in 1,000 new followers, a bunch of new people into my paid work, and then 3 people came into my masterclass after finding me like 15 minutes later. The day before I posted that, there was 3 people trying to argue with me about roughly the same subject. And I was like, I don't care. Y'all arguing with yourself. I said what I said. That's the most important thing you need to know about me is that I can't be shamed. You can't be like, oh, you should reconsider. No, honey, I said what I said. Okay. And you want to try and bully somebody else? You can go bully somebody else that's not me, but I stand by what I said. I am who I am. I'm undeniable. I'm inevitable. I am unstoppable. There is nothing I cannot do. And ruffle feathers I will do. And if I had worried about what those 3 people were trying to argue with me about, it would have silenced me and I wouldn't have posted the next day and had gotten 3 paid people into my program the very next day. Stop avoiding your strong opinions. Lean into them. And I literally just did a masterclass on this and it is included in every single one of my programs, the replay for it on Becoming the One and learning how to talk your shit and become highly paid for it. Stop avoiding your strong opinions. Say what the fuck needs to be said and move on with your life knowing that you got it out of your system and people will pay you for it, okay? So what does ownership look like, okay? What is owner? You're like, oh, Lex, how do you take ownership? What does it look like? Okay, cool. Saying things like, I deserve to be highly paid and highly sought after for my genius. I am a genius. One thing entrepreneurship has taught me is that most people do not read. They do not read. They skim, they miss the most important things. I read. That makes me a genius. Okay? How can you take ownership, not shrinking, not treating yourself as just another choice? People need you more than you need them. They can't get this level of service anywhere else. My one-on-one, the premium container that is my one-on-one, you're not gonna find that with nobody else. Okay? Treat yourself like you are the only choice. Do not, for the love of all things green and holy, worry about being intimidating, salesy, or being too much. Okay? I don't sell anything but myself. I sell being in my energy. I sell, you knew that you were supposed to do this thing and you didn't do it until after you paid me, because that is the power of working with me, because I'm going to push you. Okay? When you don't back yourself, that's when you feel salesy. Sales is a service. And I used to feel it too. It's so cringy. That's because you don't back yourself. That's because you don't believe in what it is that you can do for people. You don't believe in the transformative power of your work. Listen to me. Everybody needs to be in my work. I might focus on eldest daughter and eldest daughter entrepreneurs, but there is not a single soul on this planet that would not benefit from my guidance. Plain and simple. Every single person who is in my audience, every single person who has ever come into my awareness, or I have come into their awareness, should be in my work. I know that. I am not salesy. I am not too much. I just know how powerful and transformative my work is. And I have zero problem saying it out loud. I have zero problem talking about it, because when I talk about it, people are like, damn, she has a lot of confidence. I need that kind of confidence. Let me tap into her. It's that simple. It's that simple. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? And another thing really quick, let's take a side step about being intimidating. You are not intimidating. People are intimidated by you. Those are two entirely different things. I don't think I've ever been described as intimidating, but I know that people are intimidated by me. And those are two entirely different things. People projecting their insecurities onto you is a choice that you have. You let them do that. People who are not ready to see what it is I have to say, I leave them in the delusional ass land I found them in. Normalize leaving people where you found them, please. Please, okay? Because then that's how you come up with this, oh, I'm intimidated, oh, I'm too much, oh, it's so salesy. Stop worrying about stuff like that. Take ownership over the power of your work, okay? Own that you are the one that people should come to first, that your work is the foundation for their success, and that other services and coaches can come after your work, not before. I know that. I literally say this at least once a week on the internet. You should not, when you're creating a business, you should not do anybody else's work, any other coach's work, before you do mine. That's it. A sales coach, a business coach, they come after me. Because too many eldest daughters, too many people in general, they go inside of these sales and business coaching programs first, and then they feel like they've wasted their money. And it's like, well, how come I'm not changed? Because you ain't know who you are. You weren't trying to get a grip on your power. You were just trying to get to those 30K months that coach was promising you. And yeah, they're probably good at what they do, but they're not going to help you get past all the blocks that you're currently dealing with. I will, though. When you don't know who you are, you're not going to sell shit. When you don't know who you are, you can't energetically back yourself. And that's why you're not making 30K months with that sales coach that promised you that, okay? I own that. My work comes first. I have no problem saying that, okay? So let's talk about one tangible way you can do that. You need to shift your content. And I'm going to give you this as an actionable step too. I did a piece of content where I was like, your favorite coach already has a coach. And then I looked at it and I was like, how can I make this more potent? How can I make this more an ownership? And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, there's this coach that I had in my program who everybody loved. It's funny because it's like actually the podcast manager that I have, the woman who came to me, my podcast manager was in her coaching program. And it was like, your favorite coach doesn't have a coach. Your favorite coach hires me. I'm like, this was like the LinkedIn coach that people saw, and she hired me. She was going through some shit and she was like, I'm ready to blow it all up. And she came to me. You see how that's powerful and ownership? And so I changed my content from your favorite coach has a coach. I'm like, your favorite coach that you are foaming at the mouth to be around, they've already hired me. The person that you think has everything together is already talking with me in the DMs about how they're ready to blow up their entire business and that program that you've been saving your money for. Your favorite coach hires me. That person that you're looking at that you think that you have, oh, they have everything that I want. They actually hate their life and they're trying to hire me to blow it up. You see how that's ownership over the power of my work? Because it was true. It wasn't even a lie. It felt so good. I was like, wait a minute, everybody wants to be in this person's program. And she's literally in my DMs like, I hate this work. Help me do something else. Ownership of that. Speak to the truth of that. Don't just be like, well, your favorite coach has a coach, because then it's like, okay, yeah, everybody's tapped into mentorship, but why should I be tapped into you? Yeah, your favorite coach went to a brand designer. Okay, great. Why should it be you? Your favorite coach has a copywriter. Okay, great. Why should it be you? Own the power of your work. Stop tooting everybody else's horn out there but your own. Speak and expect it to be given, and wait for the evidence of it every single day. Own the power of your work, okay? And that's the thing, right? Because anybody can sell anything to anyone. Anybody can sell anything to anyone. But why should they buy from you? This lie that, oh, people don't like to be sold to. I love to be sold to. Why do you think I go to Target? Why do you think I shop online? Why do you think I be on Amazon? I have money, I want to spend it. Why should I spend it on you? I get so worked up about this because it's like, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you're doing. Own it. And if you can't own it, get plugged into a mentor that will bring that out in you. When you're unclear and you're spraying and you're praying, that's why you end up frustrated. And eldest daughters, we do that so much. We have such a need for autonomy that we just go out there and think we can do it all. We have zero direction, and then we end up underpaid, overworked, bashful, taking zero responsibility and ownership over the power of our work. And then we're wondering, like, maybe my parents were right. Maybe this was too risky. And then you fall back into the same cycle over and over and over again. It's wild, diabolical behavior. Plug into someone who is going to see you for you and help you take that ownership. It's exactly why I have the programs that I do. It's exactly why I am who I am and I hold the space it is that I hold. Because I know that you're struggling, and I know that you're struggling with shrinking and seeing yourself for all of your power. And I'm the catalyst for that transformation. I know the power of my work, and it's why I tell you to tap into me. Okay? All right, so what action can you take from this episode today, okay? So step one, and if you're listening to this later on, I want you to do this homework and then tag me in it, okay? Be seen as this person. So your next piece of content, I want you to take it and I want you to make it 1% more aggressive, 1% more direct, and more about you and more about your impact. I want you to take this piece of content that you have sitting in your drafts folder, and I want you to be like, how can I be just a little bit more aggressive? Grit your teeth, just snarl and growl a little bit like you're reading a smutty book. Say, how can I make this a little bit more aggressive? How can I make this a little bit more about me? Me. It's all about me. Because when I own the power of my work, people see that, they want it for themselves, and they hire me to do it. Okay? So that's the first thing. Take your next piece of content, make it 1% more aggressive, more direct, more about you. Post it, tag me in it. Okay? Tag me in it. All right. The next thing that you can do, ask yourself, oh, and let me tell you something right now. Y'all are getting absolute fire for free right now, because this is the kind of stuff that I put on my paid containers. This next step that I'm about to tell you, y'all better go sit on this. And then when you go worry about it, then go join Audacity right after, okay? Ask yourself, why do I fear my own power? Are you afraid people will see you differently? And if so, why do you give a fuck? Are you scared of leaving people behind? Guess what, baby? You weren't scared about leaving your childhood best friend behind. Not everybody's coming with you on the journey. You might as well figure out who's coming with you right meow. Who's coming with you right now? Wouldn't you rather be comfortable and happy on your journey than struggling and straggling with people who are like, oh, maybe you need to tone it down. Maybe you need to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Damn, I'm wild. The right people will follow you. If someone falls away, they weren't meant to come with you. Detach yourself from specific people and watch how the universe blesses you with people who are desperate to watch you succeed. It's so funny because my husband's trying to figure out what he wants to be when he grows up. I joke about this all the time. He has been in the Marine Corps 15 years and he's like, I don't know what I want. I get out. And I'm like, you can just be my chief of staff. I'm like, you can just be my chief of staff. By the time you get out in 5 years, I'm going to be speaking on stages multiple times a year. I'm going to be a best-selling author. I am going to be all around the world. I'm going to need somebody to manage my calendar and my books and my press engagements. I was like, you can just be my chief of staff. And he's like, okay. Like, that's it, right? He's meant to come with me. He doesn't even care what it's about. Why are you so worried about losing people? Let them leave. You dragging around dead weight, wondering why everything feels so heavy. Babe, look behind you. You got a big ass rock attached to you in the form of people who want to see you do bad. There are people who are so attached to you failing. And you over here like, but I love them. Girl, you ain't never gonna be the one with that attitude. Okay? So that's step 2. Ask yourself those things, right? Final thought. This episode is popping off, you guys. Wow. This is so good. I need to do more episodes. All right. The biggest difference between you and the people making the money that you want to make, they own the power of their work, even when their work isn't even as powerful as yours is. Yo, do you understand? There are people out here selling $30,000 masterminds and they're not moving a pinch of energy. All they doing is teaching strategy, and they sell that shit so fast, and it's not even that great. It's not even that great. And you out here, oh, I don't know if it... No, they own the power of their work. That is the only difference. And then they straight up lying to you about how they got there. Okay? That's another thing that I be calling out because I hate this shit so bad. But that's the only difference between you and them. They are not more worthy than you. They are not more deserving than you. They do not have something that you don't. There's not some whimsical DNA something. They simply just know that their work is good and they just talk about it a lot. That's it. That is it. And it gets to be that easy. All you have to say every day on the internet is, I'm the shit, come work with me. I'm the shit, come work with me. I fucking did that, come work with me. Run your mouth. Talk your shit. Say what needs to be said. And then tag me in it so I know that you're doing it. Okay? So if you are done playing small, if you are done shrinking yourself, if you are done being like, oh, I don't know, your next step is inside of Audacity, my membership. That's it. That is your next move. Because straight up, you know what it is you have to do, but it's not until you listen to me say it that you make a move. It's not until you're plugged into my energy that you change things. And you keep denying yourself that because you're worried about how powerful you are. And then that takes you back to question 2. Why do I fear my own power? I know that there's a lot of people who don't join my work because they are worried. Shit, I could actually really blow up everything real fast. I could actually go super fast. And then they turn away from it. They move away. They're like, I don't know if I can do this. But you can. This is your destiny. And you can run from it as long as you want, or you can embrace it and your riches and your birthright that is abundance quickly, fast, and in a hurry by being in my work. Audacity is your next step, okay? When you want to learn to stop shrinking and truly own the power of your work and start speaking to people that are ready to hand you their money, practically throw that shit at you, that's when you get inside my work. And so that is your next move. Now, because you're a podcast listener, you get your first month half off of Audacity when you DM me on Instagram. And all you have to do is say, I listened to your podcast, and I'll give you the first month half off. Now, if you want to do me a favor, you can always review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, and I'll still give you the discount. But I mean, if you want to hook a girl up, you can always review me there too and get half off your first month inside of there, okay? Please stop waiting. Please start taking up space. Please start claiming what's yours. And I'm going to see you inside. Okay? That's it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that I was even more loud and volatile because I recorded this episode live on IG. And I mean, I'm always like this, but it helped to have an audience kind of feeding into it at the same time. I hope you understand that as an eldest daughter entrepreneur, you are not your parents' story. You are not other people's projections of you. You are you. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. You are inevitable. There is nothing you can't do. And I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to hold it at the top and say to yourself, this and so much more. This and so much more. This feeling inside of my body of how great I am and so much more. I deserve it. I am worthy of it. It is my birthright to feel this feeling all the time and then go out and fucking talk some shit and make some money, babe. Okay? Tune in next week Next episode, we're going to be talking about why you can't use the same strategies that you use to build a six-figure brand to take your brand global. The same strategies that you use to get people into your multi-six-figure business, not the same shit that you can do to take yourself to a global thought leader. And we're going to talk about what it is you actually have to do in order to get there. And I will see you on the next episode. Off for now, bitches. Hey, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you follow the show so you're notified anytime I drop a new episode. And if you want more content like this, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Threads at @AFrankLifeCoach. I look forward to seeing you over there.